Ever found yourself struggling with pulling steel wires through conduits, or perhaps wrestling with unruly fencing? A steel wire puller could be the solution to your problem. It's a handy tool that makes the job a breeze. And the good news is, you can make one yourself with a few basic materials and tools. So how does one go about crafting a DIY steel wire puller? Before we dive in, let's shed some light on what a wire puller is. A wire puller is a tool used for drawing wires through a conduit or cavity wall, often used in concealed conduit wiring. It helps simplify the tedious process of pulling wires through narrow conduits and makes it a breeze, saving much time and effort. Now that we've established what a wire puller is and how it is used, let's get started on making one. First things first, gather the necessary. You'll need a cylindrical wooden handle, a length of sturdy steel wire, 2 wire clamps, a small carabiner, and a pair of pliers. To begin, take the cylindrical wooden handle. This will serve as the grip for your puller. It should be comfortable to hold and sturdy enough to withstand the tension of pulling wire. Next, take the steel wire and thread it through the small carabiner. Make sure to leave enough length on either side of the carabiner to secure it with the wire clamps. Use the pliers to secure the wire clamps tightly around the wire. Now it's time to attach the handle. Thread one end of the steel wire through the hole in your wooden handle. Pull it through until carabiner is snug against the handle. Secure the wire in place with the second wire clamp, ensuring it's tight and secure. Lastly, trim any excess wire protruding from the clamp with your pliers, and voila, you've just made your own steel wire puller. Just to recap, here's a summary of the steps taken. 1. Gather the necessary materials. A wooden handle, steel wire, 2 wire clamps, a small carabiner, and a pair of pliers. 1. Thread the steel wire through the carabiner and secure it with a wire clamp. 1. Thread one end of the wire through the handle. Pull it tight until the carabiner is against the handle, and secure it with the second wire clamp. 1. Trim any excess wire. By following these steps, you can craft a steel wire puller that will make your wire pulling tasks far easier and more efficient. Not only does this DIY tool save you time, but it also saves you money, as it's made from inexpensive, readily available materials. So the next time you find yourself faced with a stubborn steel wire, remember you now have the perfect tool to tackle it head on. Happy pulling! Now that we've successfully crafted our DIY steel wire puller, it's time to put it to the test. We're going to examine and demonstrate the fantastic utility this tool provides for threading steel wire through a conduit or pipe. Today, we're going to uncover the simplicity, efficiency, and advantages it offers in comparison to traditional manual methods. Firstly, let's take a standard conduit. The conduit could be any regular pipe or tube you have at hand, typically used for protecting and routing electrical wiring. Attach one end of your steel wire to the carabiner on your wire puller. This is an extremely simple step, but it is also pivotal. Make sure the wire is securely attached to ensure a smooth transition through the conduit. Now gently and carefully insert the other end of the puller into the conduit. Take your time, we're not in a race here. The aim is to guide the puller through the conduit. The process is simple, soothing almost, as you allow the wire to follow the path that the puller is paving. As the puller gracefully emerges at the other end, like a rabbit from a magician's hat, detach the steel wire from the carabiner. And voila, your steel wire has been threaded successfully through the conduit. It's magic, all right, albeit a very practical one. Now let's compare this process to the traditional method of threading the wire manually. Here we will illustrate how using the wire puller is not only significantly faster, but also requires considerably less effort. The ease of using this tool is astounding, making the task feel less like a chore and more like a fun DIY project. This wire puller reduces the risk of damaging the wire or conduit exponentially. It safeguards your equipment, making your job safer and more efficient. This is critical as damaged equipment can lead to accidents or, even worse, a failed project. Next, we're going to demonstrate the versatility of this DIY tool. We'll repeat this process with different types of conduits or pipes, maybe even some you didn't think were possible. As you can see, whether it's a narrow plastic conduit or a larger metal pipe, our DIY steel wire puller handles it with ease, saving you time and effort. As we go along, you will notice that our DIY steel wire puller makes wiring feel like a breeze, even in the most challenging scenarios. It's simple, efficient, and versatile. It feels like a trusted companion, always ready to make your tasks easier and more enjoyable. So the next time you need to thread a steel wire through a conduit or a pipe, remember this little tool. It not only makes your task easier, but also keeps your wires and conduits safe from any damage. Happy wiring!